right, let's move on. Fulham against Arsenal. That is a Sunday, 2:00 kickoff. We have a clip for you from AFTV Forever Arsenal podcast talking about Arsenal's current form. And let's roll that clip.
I think on the basis of our play, I think we deserve the draw. But I think, as Lee said, we're all probably going to say it, the defending is concerning. We're just letting in, it's not even that we're letting in too many goals, we're letting in too many chances. Way too many chances. I'm telling you, if we continue to defend like this, we're not going to win the league. We are literally wishing the league away and the Europa League away. You can't win the Europa League or the Premier League and defend like that. I'm watching games now and I genuinely don't have faith in us keeping clean sheets. And that's not a good place to be. That's not a good place to be. We're meant to be closing in now on the back end of the season, and I should be confident that my team can keep a clean sheet. We might not, but I should be confident that we can, and I'm not. And it's concerning. And if we don't sort it out quickly, Turkish, we're going to finish second. City will. We can't let in the amount of chances we're letting in and goals we're letting in and maintain this lead. We just can't do it. Yeah. So it's concerning.
Okay, so taking all that in, should Arsenal fans be worried? They've let 10 goals in their last 7 games.
Yes.
Take it away, Nick.
They should be worried. I think that a lot of their fans have already thought. I mean, that's the most sensible I've heard an Arsenal fan for about 8 or 9 months now. You've got to be worried. Man City know what they're doing. They've got experience of chasing these leads down, and I'm talking to Arsenal fans who if you're speaking to them now, they've already won the league.
Very confident.
Coming to the parade.
Yeah, and the same way they were saying last year that they was in the Champions League before they was in the Champions League, they should be worried because from what I've seen from Arsenal. Fantastic couple of comebacks, fantastic. You know, this galvanising thing. These are what Premier League champions don't go 2-0 down in 2 games after they've had a run of bad games. Yeah. You know, I know they've come back. Bournemouth was a game. Villa was a game. Do that against Tottenham. Do that against Chelsea. You're not going to come back like that. And I think we're getting
that
to
was being very complimentary of Tottenham.
No.
Me and Fuad just looked at each other like...
There's going to be... They're coming to a point in the season which is the vital part of the season. The last 12 games, the last 12 games in the season will determine everyone's season. They're going to be going to galvanised teams like... They've already lost to Everton, who were galvanised. You know, now they're going to be coming to teams that are fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their lives. Arsenal have been... You know, this rip-roaring team, let's see where they are in the next 6 games. Because if they keep on conceding goals like they are, then they won't win this league.
Well, this is it. It's like, I wouldn't necessarily say I'll be worried, but it's one of those ones where, as you said, if they continue to concede goals like this, they won't win the league. I'm saying they cannot afford to be scoring late winners for the next 12 games between now and the end.
You're not going to get a 94th minute winner every
2 games. You're not going to do that. So you need. I'll be more. I think Arsenal are going to win the league, but I'll be more convinced if they were after those bad results. They won 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 because you're getting back to those clean sheets. That all you need is 1 goal. They're putting so much pressure on their forwards to actually drag them out of these games. the Villa, Bournemouth, and then obviously Sporting midweek. Yes, you know, Sporting's a good team, etc. But Arsenal were a very good defensive team at the first half of the season. They've kind of gone the other direction, and now they're having their forwards to bail them out. Now, if their forwards bail them out for the rest of the season, cool. But you look at, for example, the Liverpool season under Brendan Rodgers. Ultimately, it was their defense that cost them because they were piling forward and scoring goals, but they couldn't keep it out of the back. Obviously, Chelsea turned them over that time, and then Crystal Palace came back from 3-0 down. Arsenal, if you're going to win this league, you have to get back to getting clean sheets. That's the only thing.
I do think, though, like for the first 17 games, I think, what was it, 15-1, the least amount conceded. There's almost like an unrealistic standard they set for themselves in that first half of the season. And I think no team can really maintain that standard, barring maybe a City or a Liverpool over the past couple of years. So I think it's almost like just Arsenal kind of just coming back to almost
default
settings. And then you take into account
Arsenal.
But you take into account as well, it's like they've lost Jesus, which is kind of the press out of that front 3. Then they've lost Partey over the last couple of weeks. Then Xhaka last game or 2. So it's like actual key pieces that were involved in kind of the defending from the front rather than the defending at the back. I think kind of just has a knock-on effect. But I do hear it. The season is long. Your squad does get tested. Results will test you.
Yeah.
Can you actually survive the kind of wave as they come? Because I think last year that was the one thing where it happened. It showed their inexperience with a lot of their. They had the youngest average team last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't
still
want to.
And you saw that kind of in the second half. It kind of reared its head. This season, they've signed Zinchenko, they've signed Jesus.
I don't want to turn on Arsenal because I think Arsenal have been a breath of fresh air this year.
Yeah,
They've been a really enjoyable team to watch. And, it's great for when you're 2-0 down and you come back and win 3-2, 4-2, that's fantastic.
It's crazy, yeah.
But it also wipes the memory of how did you get in that position in the first place?
Yeah.
How did you concede 2 goals at home to Bournemouth? Who cares? We won 3-2. Do it against a better team. And then that's where you start dropping points. And that's where teams like Man City are very, very experienced at picking up the points to make
this
their
season,
gap
though,
up.
against the better teams, as previous years where Arsenal have always struggled. But this season,
They've
however,
been
they've
very
actually
good,
turned up in all those games, if anything. It's
Even
probably
if they
against
haven't won them, they've still turned up.
They've still turned up. Even in the game that they lost against United earlier in the season, they were actually the better side, I thought. But you guys...
They were all right.
But it's, for me, I think these are just kind of tests that do come in the season. But I think the one thing you lot kept hitting on as well, which is so true, it's 5 points.
Yeah.
You cannot slip or slack. And within those 5 points, you still play City.
But this is the
you
thing.
lose that, it becomes 2 points. And I don't know if Arsenal's squad has the experience enough. That 2-point breathing on your neck pressure, I don't know whether they can kind of cope with that.
The reason why I said I think Arsenal will still win the league, and it's credit to Arsenal that they're in this position where they are favourites to win the league. If I could trust Man City to win 10 out of their next 12 games, then I might say, you know what, I think Arsenal might, because Arsenal, if they concede at this level, they're going to drop points. Man City are going to drop points between now and the end of the season, but if I could say, Man City is back at their level and they're going to win 10 out of their next 12, including beating Arsenal, you might have to edge it towards Man City. But despite Arsenal conceding all their goals, Man City are not at the level that they can take proper advantage of it, which means that Arsenal are going to probably keep this gap. And even if they lose to Man City will probably drop points before them.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, City are now at a point where they have to win every game now. They really can't slip up because of how much they've slipped up already. Unless Arsenal starts to slip up, and there's a little bit of leeway. 5 points, there is nothing really in it. Like it's very doable. I mean, I'm just having a look at Arsenal's fixtures from kind of now until the end of the season. I think Fulham is a tougher game than people might think it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fulham have been a very astute side this season. Then they've got Palace, which at home. Goal for Brighton. There we go. Alexis McAllister on the score sheet. So we've got 1-0 in all 4 games so far as we head into approach half-time-ish. So looking at their fixtures, then straight after that they've got Sporting. They've got Palace at home, Leeds at home, which is kind of a banker, I'd say, for both. Yeah. However, again, Leeds are going to be absolutely fighting for their life, and that's
nothing's a banker.
Nothing's a banker.
Nothing's a banker at this stage.
But you'd say
Bournemouth
at home,
nearly won.
Yeah,
nearly got a result at the Emirates.
Yeah, but they didn't.
And Bournemouth got a result today against Liverpool.
But they didn't at the Emirates. So you'd have to say that they're going to have to make sure that they pick up all points at the Emirates. Then they're away to Liverpool, which I still think is a tough test at Anfield, as we know. Our last sneaks. Then they're away to West Ham. West Ham are going to be fighting for their lives. Well, hopefully they're going to put up a fight. Hopefully. They're at home to Southampton. Then they've got Manchester City, and then Chelsea 3 days later, and then Newcastle. So, and then they've got Brighton. So again, I know they beat Brighton last time, but again, I still thought that could have been closer, that game, than it probably was. These are the kind of the games that I'm looking at, which is going to be a very defining time for them.